Thank you. So this is Scavenger Hunt tutorial using game design fundamentals. As you know, my name is Deb Chantson. I'm a writer and narrative designer. I'm not actually here on Rooster Business today. This is my uniform when I'm out. As you know, I do games, I write for TV, and on Valentine's Day, my first novel was published, and now I put books in my thing. So the talk today is because, I did 2 scavenger hunts for my kids, and I wanted to tell you the story about it. So when you're doing a game, making it from scratch, you're gonna figure out who is your target audience. It's really important to figure out who your target audience is because a game for everyone is a game for no one. So this all started because my kids don't like trick-or-treating. They've got this thing about like strangers hand out weird candy. And honestly, they're right, because like Tootsie Rolls, I mean, who hurt you? So for privacy reasons, I am not showing my kids' faces or names. And the picture's also purposely small, because like nobody wants to see a 30-foot me. Okay, so what you want to do with your game is figure out a surprise prize or a win state when you're doing a scavenger hunt. My kids have decided mommy's choice of a huge bag of Costco chocolate, which they really enjoy, is a great prize. At the time, they didn't actually know that this was the prize, so they were just like into it for something. So I was like, okay. It evolved from an Easter egg hunt in the dark, and then this just became scavenger hunt. So what you want to do is determine your mechanic. I decided on sequential clues because I'm very set on my children not tearing up areas of the house unnecessarily. They had to go through one clue, move to the next. And then for Easter, I decided to tape Easter eggs to the clues sometimes or hide them within so that they were actually looking for chocolate. But at least we knew where the chocolate was, and it's not some weird thing I'm gonna find in like 2 years' time. It's gross. For determining scope, I was really just wanting to have them play for as long as possible, and I was like, dear God, like I hope this lasts more than 10 minutes. And it did. So the way I do this is I have clues written, and then I have an answer key. The first time I started out with 36 clues, and then the next time I moved up to 46. Okay, to save yourself some sanity, instead of going around your house trying to figure out the best locations for clues, what I do is I go into a room and I look around and like, where can I hide things? And then I type it into my phone and then I put it into a chart afterwards. I'm not a fan of traversal in a platformer where you're like, I'm driving for a really long time to places, but in an analog game where you're trying to tire out your children, zigzagging all over the house is really cool. Yeah, so go to each room, take notes, write the clues. Your answer key is really crucial. So I have my clues on the left-hand side, and then I do an answer key on the right-hand side so I know where we're going. And then when you're actually placing the clues, it's the idea of thinking one step ahead. So like, where am I going to the next location? And it's a little bit of a mental gymnastics, but it works out. I had to adjust difficulty in my clues. Basically, just stick with short clues. The target audience here is my 2 kids, and they are 7 and 10. So you want to stick with short clues, otherwise details get lost. I had one spot that was just like way too tricky for them. And you, with your sharp eyes, can see where the clue is. It's in yellow. Oh, thank you for nodding. You got it. So the problem with this was that this is a super tricky spot. You might have to duck and look underneath to find it when you go down the stairs. It's a spot we never really see. This was like, they couldn't visualize the spot at all. So I learned there's like too many details in this one. But for accessibility, there's an overlap with making things better for kids to play and accessibility options because of limitations. So I'm not saying that you have to make things for children to make them accessible. I'm just saying that there's an overlap sometimes because of like a cognitive understanding, physical limitations, dexterity, that sort of thing. And you can talk to my dear friend Alex over there about such things. Okay, so there was a bit of like QA, play testing going on. It was really just like sending it to my husband to see if it was okay, and yeah, it's fine. So my assets were these sheets, and then I used my $20 paper cutter that I picked up at Costco years ago. Yeah, and the engine was me running around taping things to the places. Launch went really well. My setup took 43 minutes and 31 seconds. I had divided my clues up into upstairs and downstairs, trying to sort of like juggle it better. It was like, dear God, you better play for 43 minutes or more, because it took me a really long time to do this. Husband was really helpful, took the family to some hardware store, and he came back at half an hour, and I was like, there's not enough time, go outside and play. Okay, and that worked really well because they came in, and then the first clue was like right by where they have to wash their hands when they come in. So they were ready. They're like, I know where to go first. I had to pivot a little bit. I forgot that I had a clue that was going to go under the raw potatoes. I had cooked the potatoes. I was like, pivot, going to be mashed potatoes for the clue. So I hid clues all over the place. This was behind a Lego thing. It was a little bit of an exercise in patience and a commentary on the amount of stuff in our house. Like really, when you're watching your children look for things, and you're like, I suppose I am the knower of where all the things in my house are at all given times ever, and you're watching them look for something, and it's like right there. You're like, come on, buddy, come on. Okay, so I did have a hint system. I was talking to Alex about this scavenger hunt, and he was like, why don't you do a little thing with you earn chocolate along the way, and you use the chocolate as hints. For my 7 and 10-year-old, this did not go down well. They started arguing over like whose chocolate should they use, and like you should use your chocolate, and like I'm not giving up mine. And then we downgraded it to like, we'll give you hints for hugs. And then that got tedious, and we scrapped that, so it was like, no. And while this sounds like my children fight, they're actually getting along super well at the moment, and they're like buying things for each other in Roblox, and they're like, oh, I'm so glad you're playing with each other. And on the other hand, I'm like, you better play with each other because I literally grew you a playmate. So Halloween's scavenger hunt was 33 minutes and 56 seconds for 36 clues. Easter was an hour and 6 minutes for 46 clues. So thank you. And then the prize was taking them to activate Coquitlam, which they really enjoyed on a PD day. So it's too hard on my knees. I'll feel really old when we go there. But they want to go back, so I'm like, okay, we'll just do the not bending things. So there they are. They went. They enjoyed. I took them to their favorite brunch place afterwards. It was a great day. So Mommy made good on her promise. Okay, so when we're running through game design fundamentals, the target audience were my kids, age 7 and 10. The win state was the surprise, which they loved. The mechanic was sequential clues. Also because, you know, I want them to like focus on areas. And when we're talking about things and like how much you have, it's really weird when your kids are like, I've never seen this cupboard in my entire life. Like, cool, you just live here. So anyway, now they know. The assets were paper clues. The engine was me cutting, running around, taping. QA was espousal okay. live ops tweaking happened in play. And that's it. So, thank you. So, hi. 36 clues. 46 clues, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. The question is what makes up for the growth, even though I didn't double the clues. I think I just made them a little harder. And it's also a question of like, because it's a very specifically targeted, customized game, it's kind of like testing how well they listen. So last time I had very specific clues like, there are 3 bags of this, and I'm giving one to Auntie Harshi. Like, what is it? And my oldest was like, the rice! And I was like, oh my God, you do listen to me. Thank you. So yeah, just ranging, or just adjusting the difficulty in clue. So, thank you. Hi.
Do you have a plan if they found any clues ahead of sequence?
Did I have a plan if they found any clues out of sequence? I shut that crap down. I was like, nope, not yet. This, like, very cold, move over to this side. And then they would be like, look, I found this. And I'm like, not yet, put it down. Yeah, and I needed them to go in sequence because I was like, I put so much work into this. So, yeah, thank you. Okay. Oh, Misha?
Well, I guess in terms of how this could translate, and it's funny what you just said, if it's out of sequence in a video game version of this, I'm sure, you could basically hide and reveal where those clues are, based on where the clues are sitting in any location, right?
Sorry, so repeating your question, you could hide this in a video game and reveal and out of sequence. In a video game, I would put collisions where you're not allowed to go. So, like, no entry, yeah. Okay. No scary sign, so I'm good and under time. Thank you. Okay.